and welcome to Flappity Flop Podcast with your hosts Brandon and Sarah.
Hello.
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 Thanks for watching our video-ish podcast. That is all. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. I just dropped the cord to the mic that you plug into the interface, which is like made of lead apparently. I dropped it just because I was being lazy, and it just perfectly plonked on my toe.
Mm-hmm.
I had a interesting thing that I saw on the ye old web, and I thought that wasn't supposed to happen. Where is that coming from? Where the fuck is that coming from?
It's rain.
Fuck off, man. Why did it? I didn't even hit it. Why?
I don't know.
All right. Starting over. So I saw this yesterday, the day before. Oh my gosh. And I kind of rolled my eyes, and maybe that's the wrong reaction, and I'm just conditioned. So the headline.
Rolled your eyes.
Yeah, I never do that. I know. The headline, if I can get past the fucking advertisement. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so angry. Okay. Spain plans menstrual leave, a new law for those with severe pain. For those of you who don't know what menstrual means, it means your period. Which I guess I saw a joke about. It wasn't a joke. It was someone telling how a guy they were interacting with who was 26 didn't know that he thought all women got their periods on the 15th of the month. If that was the case, that would be a really bad day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be like a national holiday.
Well, you're kind of on point there because, yeah, they're saying, but they're saying 3 days. Spain is drafting a law that would give women 3 days a month off for their periods. If they needed it. I don't think they could have 3 days of leave a month. That's a huge amount of time every month on top of your normal sick leave, especially in Europe. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they mean paid, because in Europe, I think when we were in England, you accrue vacation, so you have limited vacation, but sick leave was unlimited, except you had to have a doctor's note after 3 days or something.
Yeah.
So I think mainland Europe, what do you call that? Anyway, so I think it says the time could be extended to 5 days a month if needed. And I'm thinking if you have to take, and I might get a lot of shit for this, but I have some bad periods. I know there's people that have it worse. My mom said she used to vomit.
Ooh, that's bad.
Because it would be so bad.
Needless to say.
Now, I'd say about every 3 months I get a bad one. They're a little more regular now that I'm getting a little older, but when I was a kid and I didn't know about Advil and I didn't know about keeping track and taking Advil as soon as, and some people maybe Advil doesn't work for them, but I had a few times where I called in, I had to be picked up or called in sick because it was so bad.
Yeah.
Because if you wait, it's just bad,
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's bad. But not to the point where I need
a day off
or 3 days off. And I just feel having lived in Spain for 6 months and seeing, I don't want to say work ethic, but
bad work ethic in Spain. Is that what you're saying? Bad.
It's just the culture. I mean, they close down for a couple hours in the afternoon. And I think a lot of places close in the summer.
Isn't that common in the Latin countries? They don't do it in Germany, right?
No. I don't think France does the siesta part. I think a lot of Europe does the closing in the summer for vacation. They're a lot of people say Europe is shut down. I didn't find, I was only in Spain, went there in August to start.
Humble brag.
It's not a brag. I didn't care for it.
I'm just joking.
I didn't super care for it as a education abroad program. I should have gone to Mexico or something.
That probably would have been a lot more fun.
Yeah, I just think the people in Mexico or Central America are more personality-wise, they're more like us. European, it's just a cultural thing. It's not, a lot of Europeans, I think at least
Americans
Californians are
below
superficial with their friendliness. It's just fake. But I just find it, I don't know, when we went to Mexico, when I went with my grandparents on a couple trips, I found the people to be much more open and friendly And it was just like a great time. Like, you got to watch yourself because there's still going to be, you know,
Cartels, gangs.
and just pickpockets and stuff. But,
Yeah.
you know, I had a great time. Thought it was a great environment. So I don't want to like totally diss on Spanish people. We were there right when 9/11 happened, and there was a lot of anti-American sentiment after that. And
I think there always kind of has been.
it was extra. No,
They're
it was
definitely
extra.
judgy about our guns. Europe
Yeah,
is
they
definitely...
took the first opportunity to, you know, practically to like berate us about that. And
when I was
like,
in Japan, I was living with some foreign exchange people from all over Europe, and I told them where I was from, and immediately like, oh, you guys have guns, right? And you just shoot people all the time.
It's just low-hanging fruit.
The fuck?
You know, it's probably like people saying, oh, Spaniards are lazy, siesta. But like, I was there. I did see the siesta, so I can verify it's really a thing. Not everyone takes a nap. Some people just eat lunch and then like watch the soap operas. You know, like that's what my roommates did. Yeah. I think they actually thought I was funny because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap, or you know, I would fall asleep because we'd eat like a meal. Just thinking of that Will Sasso, a meal. I just will always think of that.
A meal. I had you for dinner last night.
But I just
there was a guy who's sorry to interrupt. I feel
like we've referenced this before on at least one occasion.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So there's this Mad TV skit from like the 90s with Will Sasso when he comes in and he's gonna be doing voice work for some Disney movie, and he comes in dressed as a monkey.
Right.
And
he's unclear on the concept.
And the sound guy's name is Amir or Emil.
I thought it was Emil.
Emil? Emil?
Like
I think it's Emil with an A.
E-M-I-L.
Anyway, it sounds like Emil. So, he was voicing Arnold, basically.
He was playing Arnold, yeah.
Playing Arnold. So he's like, Emil, had you for dinner last night?
That's
and
good.
then just makes a big deal out of it. Like, it's a super funny joke.
Because they're like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Will Sasso's great.
It is great. So every time I say like a meal, I think of that. Every time. It's kind of, that phrase is ruined.
I reference it way too often.
It's good. It's a good one.
It's
like
house.
Kind of like an inside joke that we share with Will Sasso. It's a bonding thing or something. I thought until you gave me that look.
Well, you said we share with Will Sasso.
No, it was just like a joke.
We don't know Will Sasso.
Totally. Anyway, I just think like Spain isn't the most industrious country anyway.
Boom.
Already. Do you really fucking need 3 to 5 days of menstrual leave? I mean,
I feel like they could do with one.
Yeah.
Isn't it really... So when you have your cycle, isn't it really just bad, like really bad for one day?
It depends.
And then it can be sort of bad for...
Go ahead, finish that thought.
For other days? For other days? For other days? For other days? People are not going to know why you're laughing now.
Is this a remix? for other days? For other days?
Mm-hmm.
What was the question?
I don't remember. I think one bad day. You have one like super bad day,
I mean, you
right?
can't. It depends. Some people get no cramps.
I don't believe it.
Some people get migraines.
I don't believe it.
You fucking typical male. Some people vomit.
I don't believe it.
Some people, I don't even know what else. I've never had migraines. I'm very grateful.
Sounds made up.
Oh my gosh. I would have like, on the worst, I'd have 2 bad days. But it wasn't even like all day. And I kind of feel like that's what sick time is for. And I understand that men don't have...
Maybe Spanish women
periods.
Have particularly brutal...
I doubt it.
Times of the month.
I doubt it. I think Americans probably have the worst because they have like the worst work-life balance.
Yeah, we get like kind of the least amount of time off.
Yeah. So I think in America, I would say, yeah, that's cool. I feel like in Europe...
They'd never do that.
I feel like
Are you
Europe...
kidding me?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't, but I feel like
you can barely even get... Don't women barely even get like maternity leave?
Yeah. And I'm sure there's countries that are worse, but I'd say that...
It's like, yeah, whatever, you had a baby, get back to work.
I'd say that most of the European, Western European countries are doing well. I mean, England, I think you had statutory.
We're doing well. We just have bad money management.
Damn it.
Oh my gosh. And she didn't. She didn't.
I'm telling you to stop. See, the problem is you clear your throat in the middle of us talking and you just like that.
She didn't let me have a damn piece of chocolate, and she's over here hacking up a lung, judging me.
It would have been worse if we'd have chocolate.
Chocolate?
Have had chocolate. Fuck. Chocolate. Because I said the word, now I'm like.
Are you guys enjoying this horror show?
So my point is.
What is your point?
Shut up.
Get to it.
I'm getting there. In England, shut the fuck up. In England, you get like statutory 21 days of vacation. That's not counting the sick time that is somewhat unlimited unless you're out for an extended time. That was my experience. My partner at the time worked for the NHS.
What is that?
National Health Service. So it's like the country's health care, and it's like working for, a government job.
Okay.
He had like 40 days of vacation.
So cush.
He had 40. They would tell him.
Government jobs are always the most cush jobs.
They would tell him you need to take vacation, and so he'd take a week off and like work on the house or just run errands, just to. And I'm like, you fucking. And I had a fair amount of vacation, like.
That's that money management issue there that I'm talking about. That countries always seem to have.
What? Can you be specific?
Too cushy freaking government jobs. Too cushy. While everyone else is struggling, it's
but
like...
But the thing is, really, the rest of the people... Again, the state, like, minimum was, like, 21 days. Here, it's, like, I don't even know if there is a minimum. But, like, a week for a lot of jobs is standard. For legal jobs, you mostly start at 2 weeks. So
come on, hobble on over here.
So 21 days to start with is a lot. 40 days, and that's England. And I think Europe is above and beyond that. So that's what I'm saying when I say, let me just look it up.
They're just a bunch of commies, though.
Oh, wow.
Giving money away.
Standard vacation time. Let's see. Maybe I'm exaggerating. European Union legislation mandates that all 27 member states must by law grant all employees a minimum of 4 weeks of paid vacation.
Ooh.
So that's 28 days.
How do
workers are entitled to 10
that?
days paid annual leave for each complete year of service. I don't understand what that
How
means.
do small businesses do
Plus, there's 12 paid public holidays. And then I don't think that includes sick time. I mean, it's not. It just says vacation. So I just think... And maybe I'm going to sound super old-fashioned, and maybe it's just my conditioning, but when do you work? Because, like, in England, I started at a job at a law firm, and it was a U.S. law firm, but they had an office in London, but so they had to follow the English laws there in that office, and there was a lady who had been off months and months for maternity leave, because you would get, like, 3 months, I don't know if it was full pay or half pay. Anyway, paid, like a good amount of pay. I think you might get like 3 months full pay, then 3 more months half pay. Then it would continue to scale down, but you could go a long time.
How many people do you think abuse that system?
Well, it depends on what you mean by abuse. Like, we probably sound really...
Abuse as in having a baby for that.
Well, I think there are people who have babies for benefits because you can get more benefits if you're unemployed. If you're unemployed, you can already get state benefits, and then you have babies, you get extra benefits, and definitely. But there was a woman, a lawyer, who had been gone a long time because she had a baby.
I think somebody actually we know.
Can I finish?
Sure.
So she was gone for like the maximum you can be gone and still be getting some amount of pay. Came back and almost immediately quit and went to another job. And like, that seems like a bit of a hardship because in the meantime, other people are having to do her job. They have to hold that position for her. Mm-hmm. And she came back just long enough to find another job. And like, maybe that's good, but I thought, man, I'd have a hard time.
It's a bit abusey.
But is that just us? Like, but so to me, when I hear you're gonna, a lot an extra.
They're paying you to sit at home.
Well, I mean, come on now. I think the point is that they don't want women to be penalized for choosing to be home with their children.
I think it's bad to be taking money from a company while you're at home with your bebe that the company didn't tell you to have, and then for you to dip out after they have paid you money for doing nothing. It's one thing to continue with that company.
Yeah.
But it's a whole other thing to dip out after taking that, I believe.
I don't know if we should judge her or judge the government for making that a thing. But then...
What do you mean?
Because it's like the law. I think it might have actually been above and beyond what they had to do. And maybe if she had been there for like 10 years, they didn't mind as much, because it's like, you put in your time here,
so
you
she
kind
had
of
been
earned
there for
this.
10 years?
No, I'm just saying maybe it was.
How long had she been there?
I have no idea.
Oh,
because I didn't even see her. She was I was there. She had been gone forever on maternity leave. I swear to God, I saw her like 2 days and then heard that she had given her notice.
Yeah,
you know,
that just seems like you're taking advantage.
I think that's partly our conditioning, because like, if it's an option,
but also you have to think
why wouldn't you do it?
I think you do have to think about it a little bit from the employer's point of view. You're paying this person for their free time because they had a baby. And I feel like you would expect them to come back after and continue to work. It's weird for them to take advantage of that and then dip out, in my opinion. I think it's a kind of shitty thing to do to a company. But then again, I don't know. Maybe she didn't like the company. Maybe she didn't like how it was run. And a lot of companies can afford a lot more than they act.
I think that's part of the issue. Is like, they talk about what doctors make over in England versus what doctors make here. And they're like, yeah, we don't make nearly as much as American doctors, but like, we're so comfortable and we enjoy our jobs. It's not like this rat race to try to get to the top and, you know, have a McMansion and all that. It's just, I have a good quality of life and I'm helping people. And I'm getting paid adequately or in proportion to like the study I've done and the sacrifice I made, you know.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was an interesting question, because I feel like it's partly our conditioning. You know, it's like when my mom talks about stuff and I'm like, you're coming from the perspective of an employer. So you're pissed off that they're giving more and more to employees, but also I think part of it is you had to put up with that shit, and then you see things getting softer and softer, in quotes, for employees. And I think there's something in it subconsciously that's like, what the fuck? You know, and partly because she's biased, because she's essentially a small business.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know, I mean, your business shouldn't be penalized. You know, your business should have maybe lower taxes because it's a small business, and you have kind of high turnover because you can't pay people well. Like you know, when I'm talking about reform, are big, huge money-making corporations or even law firms. Like,
when you have a CEO that is pulling in billions, it's like, you can afford to pay your people a little more, or give them benefits.
Even when my new firm like flies people in for an in-person meeting because you know, multiple of us work in different offices, and it's just for like bonding or social, like, that's excessive.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
That's money you could be giving your employees in the form of pay. In my opinion.
So weird. They must find it to be worthwhile to build that bond in the group, so people think twice before leaving. They feel a little more maybe obligated. I've hung out with these people. I've drank with these people. And that's a little bit why I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. And when I'm a little bit dubious when one of the older partners is saying it's really important that we get together. Yeah. I don't agree. It's important for you. It's important to your business.
Yeah. It's more important for you to pay me more.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's how you'll keep me, not by having like happy hour. It was nice, but it was a pain in the ass also. But anyway, I didn't really want to super get into that, but I just thought it was funny, you know, with the perspective of someone who has bad periods. Like, I know other people. I
forgot where we. Yeah. Okay.
Other people I know have worse, but I don't know what it takes for a country to be productive, but I don't I don't get the impression Spain is up there in terms of industry and productivity. I mean, maybe their tour. I know their tourism is a huge draw, and that's great.
But then aren't they kind of mean to all their tourists?
Not the people working in tourism.
I love these tourism ads.
Do you?
Yeah.
What else?
Like, like the California
ad. Yeah, I know, but
and
what
then
other ones have you
Hawaii.
seen? Yeah.
It's like they don't want you there.
You're just you're thinking
They don't want you there.
Right.
Stop.
Not the actual regular people.
Stop
right?
lying.
Yeah.
Stop acting like they want
Yeah.
you there.
Right. They can't wait to greet you at the plane with the Lay's and fresh pineapple.
Yeah, and they'll all be very nice because they totally want you there.
Right. Yeah. I think they were kind of enjoying the pandemic for that reason.
Yeah.
I do have to question how much of it is our conditioning, like kind of getting to that age where you go, what the fuck, And then you think, is it just because I didn't have that? But
well, I think maybe
if you already have unlimited maybe they don't have unlimited sick leave, but
you might be thinking about...
That's a little bit crazy. It just feels a little crazy to me. Like Spain is just, their goal is to get to 0 working days a month. I feel like what is the bare
Isn't that
minimum?
Everyone's goal.
But realistically, for a country to function and be productive and like competitive in the world market, like
and
what is the minimum we have to work
and not to be killing your fucking businesses?
Yeah.
Like business owners have to pay for this shit.
Well, I think the government has to pay for a good amount of it. Even when the company, business, whatever, let's say, doesn't have to directly pay that added benefit that the employee gets, you're missing an employee. So let's say you're like a shoe store and you employ...
And you're Al
You
Bundy.
employ 4 people and then one of them is out 3 to 5 days. You have to pay those people, overtime? Or you have to... Like, it's a hardship. It has to be a hardship, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
so.
I'm just like
you're
not
paying someone while they're not there.
It's a very preliminary article that I read. But I think it's great that there's like more awareness. Definitely be aware that like women's periods come every 21 to 28 days. It can be quite a broad range, but not the 15th of every month. What are some other what's something that you thought about periods like as a kid? Like, did you ever notice when your mom was on hers and, like, did you think, like...
No.
I don't know.
I didn't.
What did you think before you took, like, health class and you learned all that shit?
Like,
women turned into werewolves when they had their... I think that's, like, the premise of a movie or something about werewolves when women are menstruating, they turn into werewolves.
I just wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
There was a friend that had one in class.
Oh.
And it went through her chair.
Oh, that's awful.
And everyone was laughing.
Aw.
And I was confused. I was looking down.
You thought she was having a baby?
I was like, what is that? Ketchup? Did she sit in ketchup? What happened? I was so confused.
That's a heavy flow. Because usually it's not, even if you, well, I've never had it to the, because there's like ebbs and flows, not to get too gross about it, but fucking
That's
deal
gross.
with it.
Just stop.
Go into hiding.
Stop.
Anyway, really? Were you joking?
Yeah.
Okay. You looked like you kind of meant it. And I was like, that's not the Brandon I know and love. My filter is a little too high, so I'm like having to peek over to see you. I don't know. I just have never been caught out that much where it was like...
This was because everyone was very young, so I'm thinking it was like first or early days.
Because my first was like not... Mine never just like go right into it. Like all of a sudden it's just bam.
Mine hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, right. Keep waiting. Maybe some women's do. I haven't really talked about it with people. I guess I have. But anyway, I don't really want to get too into it. Cause...
If it's just like boom and then you're like flying through the air with just this stream.
Just thinking about those guys with those like feet water jet packs like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Everyone getting splattered.
You'd be dead.
And throwing up.
You don't have that much blood.
Oh, the smell.
Oh, God. Do you think that's what Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle is? It's like period vagina candle.
Oh, gosh.
So nasty.
The fuck is wrong with that woman?
I saw a thing that was...
What?
Where she was being ripped because she came up with these super expensive diapers that are like either $1,000 or a few $100s, like for a pack of 12. But when she was getting torn apart in the media, she said it was a joke and I did this to raise awareness because
I don't think she's allowed to do that at this point.
well, she says she wasn't actually offering them for sale, but she's basically saying to highlight how people aren't diapers are taxed as a luxury item, not as a necessity.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, she is still fucking weird and out of touch, but
And sells a
maybe
lot of
that
overpriced
shows a little bit.
stuff
Yeah.
for somebody who's a millionaire, right?
Well, maybe what that is her squeezing money out of dumbass rich people and, you know, funneling it to like people in need.
Like she's secretly a cool person.
Yeah, maybe. You know, it's possible.
She's like, yeah, smell my vagina and pay me a bunch of money, you dumb shits.
Do you think Chris Martin would have married someone who's just completely a shallow? Like, I don't know, he just seems like a nice guy.
But they split.
There had to have been something. Yeah, but after like some years.
Maybe he was like, yeah, you're
I think
kind
it was
of
because she
attractive.
wanted to play the field. But she did say that partly, I think she said that partly why she liked Luke Wilson was like she commented on his physique and how that was like, his physique was like acceptable and attractive to her, which is just funny.
Okay. What
It's
does
just
that
a
have
funny
to do
thing
with
to
anything?
say that maybe she's a bit shallow and, you know, thinks that she kind of made yoga popular. I don't know. I don't know if that's all true. I like to spread lies and
Misinformation.
Hey, if any of you have information about taming a wild and aggressive green-cheeked conure, message me, would you? Or comment.
Just a random.
Hey, might as well crowdsource this
Just, hey, by the
challenging
way.
situation.
Hey, by the way, we have a bird.
We have a conure that's really aggressive, and I want to kind of try to tame him before we move so that my mom can have a sweet bird that she can just put on her shoulder and he won't bite her cheek off.
He's afraid of gloves,
Yeah.
but he will try to peel your skin off.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been brave enough to touch him. Birds freak me out because, yeah, they'll peel chunks out of you if they feel like it.
Yeah, anyway, I'd welcome any
Sorry.
input. No, it's fine. You hear him?
I do.
No, I'm asking them.
Oh, okay.
Do you hear? Beep. Beep. Do it. Is it because he hears your voice? Beep, beep, beep. Beep. Beep.
This is riveting
so
stuff.
Cute, though. It's kind of cute. Well, they say they want to be with their flock.
He's cute when he's not doing that.
They want to be with their flock. And so how you train them is partly by partly by like shunning them. Like if they bite you, you just walk away. And that's like the worst because they want to be with you're their flock. The
Walk
people are their
away
flock.
with your new skin flap hanging off of your hand and shun him
Ventilation.
until the next time. Yeah, I'm just ventilating the skin, the meat under my skin.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah, let us know. Please like, comment, subscribe. I felt like there was another thing I was supposed to say at the end. I'm sure someone will tell me.
What?
I don't know. Bye.
Bye.